It's been a month. It's been a month since I've talked about the Aukey EP-T25 here. The latest one was 2 weeks ago when I compared it head to head with the Sony WF-1000X Mark III's. And I think I've kind of been putting this review late for a reason. And the easiest reason for me to actually explain why I haven't done a long-term review of the Aukey is that I think there's really no reason for me to do it. I think the first impression, even though yes, there's some detail that I left out, has been what I think is enough for me to like put on a video, right? So English is a bit stupid right now. I just woke up. It's like 5 in the morning, but I have a lot of things I want to talk about. My real experience, the full detailed specs I want to talk about. And yeah, let's talk about it. First of all, let's just talk about the overall sound quality of this. So I've paid cheaper than other people. I think I got it for only $25 when it costs like 30 something. I'm not sure, but I got it a bit cheaper than the retail price if you go to Shopee or Lazada right now. And for the price, I would highly give this a 7 out of 10 rating. This is a very good earbuds when you're trying to look for a cheap price. Now, the thing about the Aukey EP-T25 compared to things like the Apple AirPods, Sony WF-1000X Mark III's, and also the latest addition to the family, Razer Hammerhead True Wireless, is the Aukey EP-T25 have very punchy bass to me, and it's I think because my expectation of the Aukey was so low, they end up being very good. The bass was punchy. I think everything else is pretty balanced, but the bass doesn't really drown out everything else. So the custom tune 6mm, I think the driver is. I'm just gonna double check because I don't want to get this specs wrong. You know, this is important for some people. Let's open their product page here. Okay, I cannot find it anymore. There we go. So, oh, never mind. It's 4mm dynamic drivers, and it's really bassy. I think if you're bass heads or if you listen to pop music that have bass on them, the Aukey EP-T25 is such a good deal. And honestly, I wouldn't be sad if you tried the Apple and you're like, I love this sound, but I don't have the money for it. I think the Aukey excuse me, my throat is killing me. The Aukey delivers better sound in some other aspect. Bassy song, pop songs, and songs that very good if low end is really good with the Aukey. So I'm just gonna put this sound out real quick because I think sound is subjective. I don't want to get into too much detail of it because everyone listen to sound different. Some people like the bassy, some people like the flat profile, the Apple. So I'm not gonna go too much detail. All I can say is that it sounds very good, a bit bassy, but that's basically it. Now, let's talk battery life. This is pretty important. I'm just gonna go into quickly. So this puppy has a combined total of 25 hours battery life. So it's 5 hours on single playback. Oh my god. 5 hours on single playback, and you can charge it up to 4 times full. So again, 5 times 4 is 20, so it's 25. So you get extra battery life here. Oh, it's not focusing. Sorry. Focus camera. Camera's not focusing. Camera. My camera is having a. There we go. Nice. So battery life for me has been pretty good. I've never was able to kill this. I'm sorry. I was never able to kill the Aukey. So that's a thumbs up for me. Like there. That's a really good feature. Like the battery life is really long. I think. Whoa. What? Something just played in the background. Okay, so for me, because it's it's cheap, the sound is good, the battery life for me is really good too. 25 hours. It's not as good as my Sony, have 8 on each and then you got extra 24, but honestly for the price I cannot complain. This is so much better than the Hammerhead I reviewed like a few days ago. This one has 4 plus 12, so it's 16 total. This is 5 plus 20, which is good because you can charge extra. Okay, next, battery life's gone. We're gonna talk about charging speed. It charges using USB Type C. I was gonna say Lightning for some reason. Type C, and it charged roughly about an hour for 0 to full. And you have a battery indicator every time you open the case. You can see it. So now we have 1 battery left. I haven't been using this as my daily for the past few weeks after I own the Sonys, but I've kind of just randomly use it sometimes, and it's been great. Now we're gonna talk about build quality. And I would say, after handling a much more expensive earbuds like the Razer, because they're trying to achieve this thinness, I hold it side by side with the Aukey, and look at how much thicker the Aukey is. You cannot tell. It's really thin, and it's small. It's a bit wider. It's a bit chunkier, but the battery life is better. The build quality is better. This is $99, by the way. And yeah, like, this feels cheap. You know, I don't want to complain anymore, but this feels really good for the price. But I did drop this with the case open, and as you guys can see, there's a bit of a kink. It's not gonna focus again. I'm gonna manually focus here. There we go. There's like some kinks on the case, and really sad news. The reason why I don't daily drive this anymore is because I managed to broke the hinge, which in an auto pairing case, which means, you know, you open the case and it automatically paired, it's a really big issue. I have this issue where it will randomly just not connect, or it will randomly disconnect every time I try to do it, because it's detecting like the case is not open or something. But yeah, that's a bit sad. That's my problem. It's not Aukey's fault. Aukey, before I dropped it, it has been so good just opening, and the case lid feels so good. Now it feels very rough. You know, it doesn't feel as good as I bought it anymore. And yeah, build quality for me has been good. The plastic feels a bit slippery, I think, but overall, I think if you compare it to the Razer, it's a much better plastic. Now we're gonna talk about comfort and features. So the comfort of this, I would honestly say that this is way more comfortable compared to the AirPods. Now, the AirPods, okay, I'm just gonna take them off here. So the AirPods is much more comfortable in the way that you have ambient mode, or, you know, pass through. That makes the AirPods more comfortable. But for me, the 1 month I've owned the Aukey, I've ended up just wearing the Aukey more, because it's much more flatter. Like, look at that. My Apple kind of protrudes out a little bit. Aukey is really flat, guys, and this has been a pretty good kind of like comfort for me. Whenever I took out my hoodie, or, you know, I wear my hoodie, take it off, it never really snag out like the AirPods always do. So I would say the comfort for me has been better on the Aukey, but long term, like 3 to 4 hours, my ear does get hurt with the Aukey a little bit. Not hurt, it's itchy because of the silicone, but Apple, because it doesn't dig in too much, it feels better over time. But straight on just putting them on, I would say that you buy either one, you'll be happy either way. And the buttons is kind of like the only thing I don't really like, because it's kind of like, it's not enough. I think you can play, next, previous, I've explained it on my review, my showcase, but I think they could have been better. Now let's talk about microphone quality. And I cannot do a test because I don't have the equipment for it, but I can safely say the mic quality on the Aukey EP-T25 it's okay. I would give it a 4 out of 10. It's not the best, but I think if you want to take a light call, it should be fine. But yeah, just don't expect your voice to be as good as, you know, the Apple AirPods or the Apple AirPods. There we go. Who, I cannot say anything. All right, so let me get I have my notes here. I'm just gonna scroll down a bit. I tried to do a script for this because, you know, because I want to be like, yeah, this is a much more detailed one-man review. Now, okay, let's go to the connectivity issues. Okay, I'm sorry. I won't say that there's a connectivity issues. I think there's a limitation to the connectivity here. So it has Bluetooth 5.0, and same goes to all of these earbuds back there, you know, the one that's not focused. They all have Bluetooth 5.0, but the Aukey suffered the same problem that the Razers did, where in my kind of like 2-story house, I can usually go up I can go downstairs with the phone upstairs with my Apple and my Sony's. But with both Razer and Aukey, the moment I step downstairs, my audio starts to cut off. So I would say that it's really good if you're like a one story or one floor, and then you can just go from like point A to point B. I think that's good, but going up and down, I think it's a bad problem. And it uses, okay, so I remember someone commented if they're using master and slave connection. I kind of dumbly said yes, but they're not. They're using 1-point connectivity, so it's connected using the case. And if you open the case and just want to use one side and just pick one, you can do that. It's not master or slave, so you can either use left, or you can use right, or left or right. So it's really up to you. I said master slave connectivity. I'm really sorry, I didn't mean that. And I've seen some reviews where people say that the Aukey EP-T25, when you put them back in the case, they still stay connected. It's not like that for me. The moment I put it back and close it, the lid automatic, like it disconnect immediately. So I don't think that's a problem for me. Maybe some older version. And let's go to the last part I want to talk about. Oh yeah, my overall experience. I didn't write this on the script, I forgot. I want to be as genuine as possible. And for the price I pay it, especially at $25, I couldn't be happier. Like, I think I'm a little bit spoiled that I want features like ANC, noise ambient, transparency mode, better sound quality, because I can hear the difference on these two. But for a lot of people where money is an issue, or they don't see the need to spend a lot on premium earbuds like this, the Aukey here, if you can get it on your place, like without importing it, because I know some region doesn't sell this, but if you guys can find the EP-T25 for cheap, or like for the retail price even, I think this is such a great buy. The connectivity and the size, and also IPX5 water resistance. The Razer hammerhead says IPX4. Same goes to the Apple AirPods, and my 1,000 ringgit 900 ringgit or $230 Sony doesn't even have IP rating. So like, you're getting a bassy punchy earbuds with very long battery life. I think I can safely say it's a full day battery life with very quick recharge, and IPX5 with such a small size. When you put the hammerhead side by side, I cannot, like, I keep hating this because it's so bad for the price. Like, you can get something cheaper, and it's so good. It's so comfortable. Yes, I think the stamps might ruin some people aesthetic on it, but I personally love the stamp. You can just manage it on your ear without touching the touch sensor by accident. So like, I'm running out of good thing to say, but there's no bad things to come after. Maybe for me, the bass is a little bit too punchy, but I'm being nitpicky here. Like, that's nitpick. I really cannot say anything bad about this. I think if you want features like ANC or transparency, you have to look somewhere else. But if you want something so good for being cheap, for being compact, I really don't know where to go with the Aukey. It's like, if I can put it here, let me face my camera a little bit. There we go. So if I can put this here, right, and I can put it by price point, it'll be something like this. So Aukey, let me put my AirPods back in. So it's Aukey, Razer, Sony, and then AirPods. AirPods more expensive here, right? But if I have to put it by sound, this is subjective, but I will put it like this and like this. And when I listen to some of the music, I listen to a lot of J-pop, a lot of rock. I almost put the Aukey right here, but I think the detail on Apple is better, but the bass and overall sound quality is really good. Even the thought of putting Aukey right here means that Aukey did a really good job on their EP-T25, and I cannot complain. So what do you guys think? Do you guys agree with my experience with the Aukey? Do you guys think you might get it now because it's such a good earbuds? Or do you think there's anything better in the market right now? Leave down a comment. I want to see. I want to talk about this things like that. This is interesting. I might get one that you guys think is better than the Aukey or anything. But yeah, leave a like down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. I want to do more of this tech stuff, and ask me any question down below. I'll be sure to answer them, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See you later. Before I end the video, there's extra things I need to remind you guys of. Aukey uses app tags. No, just kidding. It uses AAC and SBC, so no app tags here. So if you're an iPhone user, I think you're lucky it's using AAC, and then Windows 10 or anything they'll use SBC. And the lack of app tags here means that delays on video for me on Apple and Huawei devices has been pretty minimal. It's minimal to the point where I cannot notice it, and the delay on gaming is noticeable, and that's the whole reason why I even bought the Razer, to have the low delay, low latency gaming mode. So yeah, delay is noticeable. I don't know about iPhone. I haven't tried gaming on my iPhone yet, but on my Huawei device there's delay. But video on YouTube and Netflix is pretty much, I think there is some delay, but I don't think you can notice it. But that's my experience on it. So yeah, goodbye.